All right, so we are not contrast this. So reading from the Science of Psychic Healing, we started this chapter, chronic treatment. So he was explaining some things to do with your hands, and then just for specific types of issues like constipation, dyspepsia, diarrhea, and also we're on liver troubles. Liver troubles are treated by general treatments accompanied with special treatments in the shape of manipulation of the region of the liver, accompanied with vibrations over the seat of the trouble. Do not forget to finish the treatment with stroking. Kidney troubles are treated similar to liver troubles, except that the special treatments are given over the region of the kidneys. Rheumatism is treated by general treatments accompanied by special kneading and manipulation of the affected part. Neuralgia is treated by general treatment accompanied by special kneading and manipulation of the affected part. Impotency on sexual weakness is treated by general treatment and special manipulation and vitalizing of the region of the lower part of the backbone or spine and upper part of the seat. Female troubles may be greatly benefited by general treatment and a gentle special treatment of the parts around the seat of the trouble, special attention being given to the vibration over the parts. General remarks on treatments. The above forms of treatments are given merely as a general guide. The healer must be governed by that sense of intuition that comes to all healers who are interested in their work, and seems to be a special sense which nature has bestowed upon those having an earnest desire to heal. This will come to you, and you will then understand it much better than we could tell you. The first thing to do is thoroughly acquaint yourself with each and every one of the forms of treatment described in the last chapter, so that you can make each movement naturally and easily, just as you use your hands in carrying your food to your mouth, in dressing yourself, etc., etc. Then when you have acquired the movements in this way, when they have become second nature, as it were, then you will find yourself feeling impelled to use certain motions and movements in preference to others in each case, and you will find that the requirements of each case are met much better in this way by the following of any set rules or directions in any book or from any teacher. There is a healing sense that is just as real as any other of the senses, as you will discover if you get into this work. But remember this: acquaint yourself thoroughly with the details of each and every particular movement and form of treatment. Practice on some friend or relative who is willing to help you. A few minutes actual practice in this way is worth pages of directions. Have confidence in yourself and the power that flows through you, and you will be successful. I love that he says a few minutes of actual practice in this way is worth a few pages of directions. I'm such a hands-on learner. It's so hard for me to learn just reading textbooks. So I think that's important. If any of this is actually like somewhere you want to head down, just finding a teacher to help guide you in practice. Distant healing. Prana, colored by the thought of the sender, may be projected to persons at a distance who are willing to receive it, and the healing work done in this way. This is the secret of the absent healing of which the Western world has heard so much of late years. The thought of the healer sends forth and colors the prana of the sender, and it flashes across space and finds lodgment in the psychic mechanism of the patient. It is unseen, and like the Marconi waves, it passes through intervening obstacles and seeks the person attuned to receive it. In order to treat persons at a distance, you must form a mental image of them until you can feel yourself to be in rapport with them. This is a psychic process dependent upon the mental imagery of the healer. You can feel the sense of rapport when it is established, it manifesting in a sense of nearness. That is about as plain as we can describe it. It may be acquired by a little practice, and some will get it at the first trial. When rapport is established, say mentally to the distant patient, I am sending you a supply of vital force or power, which will invigorate you and heal you. Then picture the prana as leaving your mind with each exhalation of rhythmic breath and traveling across space instantaneously and reaching the patient and healing him. It is not necessary to fix certain hours for treatment, although you may do so if you wish. The receptive condition of the patient, as he is expecting and opening himself up to your psychic force, attunes him to receive your vibrations whenever you may send them. If you agree upon hours, let him place himself in a relaxed attitude and receptive condition. The above is the great underlying principle of the absent treatment of the Western world. You may do these things as well as the noted healers with a little practice. Chapter 10, autopranic treatments. Not only is it possible for one person to treat another by pranic force, but one may also treat himself or herself with considerable effort in the same way. This may seem strange at first, for the underlying principle of pranic healing seems to be that of the healer. This may seem strange at first, for the underlying principle of pranic healing seems to be that the healer sends a supply of pranic force to the affected parts, supplying the deficiency of prana in those parts. This is true, but when it is remembered that one may draw prana from the universal supply and then distribute the same to the parts, it will be seen that one may treat himself by this method. In fact, it is claimed by some that deficiency of prana lies in the fact that it is not equally distributed from some state of contraction or congestion, and that the real process of pranic healing consists in an equalization or distribution of the prana throughout the system. At any rate, everyone may benefit himself or herself by giving auto or self pranic treatments. In order to give these treatments correctly, one should acquaint himself with the movements or forms of treatment mentioned in our previous chapters, relating to the treatment of others by the pranic method, and then endeavor to reproduce these movements upon themselves. Beginning with the pranic breathing, the person should fill his nerve centers full of fresh prana, and then to proceed to redistribute it throughout his system in the way of a general treatment, following up the same by a special treatment of the affected parts. It is wonderful how much good one may do himself in this way, and how invigorated and strong he will feel after such treatment. Of course, one cannot treat himself as handily as he could treat another, for the reason that he cannot handle himself as well, but a little practice and the exercise of a little ingenuity in the application of the treatments will do wonders. The manipulations, kneading, stroking, vibration treatment, and many other forms and degrees of treatment may be successfully administered by oneself. We do not think it necessary to go into details of this treatment here, for this would be but a repetition of the forms of treatment given in the previous chapters. All we can say is that if you will acquaint yourself thoroughly with the directions given in the said chapters, you will have at your command a mighty source of relief and cure that you may be in danger of overlooking simply because of its simplicity and plainness. We have known of many persons who have treated themselves successfully in this way, and we see no reason why anyone cannot do likewise. The best instruction that we can give you is to start in and do it according to the directions already given. Do not neglect the breathing exercises, as that lies in the basis of the entire treatment. Now, this chapter is short, and many of you may not attach it to the importance that you would grant if it were padded out. But we assure you that if you read it carefully, you will find that it contains a hint of very valuable and important truth, which hints, if taken, may lead to wonderful results. The plainest things are often the most valuable, but alas, we neglect them because they are so plain and simple and run after some other things, not half so good, simply because they seem more complex and wonderful. Just letting him, I think it's Amanda.
In progress.
Good morning, is that Amanda?
Yeah, good morning.
The following exercises, we have Casey joining us today, Amanda,
Oh, hi, Casey.
and more. The following exercises will be found most useful in autopranic healing. Prana distribution. Nope, hold on. Prana distributing. Lying flat on the floor or bed, completely relaxed, with hands resting lightly over the solar plexus, over the pit of the stomach where the ribs begin to separate. Breathe rhythmically. After the rhythm is fully established, will that inhalation will draw in an increased supply of prana or vital energy from the universal supply, which will be taken up by the nervous system and stored in the solar plexus. At each exhalation, will that the prana or vital energy is being distributed all over the body to every organ and part, to every muscle, cell, and atom, to nerve, artery, and vein, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, invigorating, strengthening, and stimulating every nerve, recharging every nerve center, sending energy, force, and strength all over the system. While exercising the will, try to form a mental picture of the inrushing prana coming in through the lungs and being taken up at once by the solar plexus. Then with the exhaling effort, being sent to all parts of the system, down to the fingertips and down to the toes. It is not necessary to use the will with an effort. Simply commanding that which you wish to produce and then making the mental picture of it all that is necessary. Of it is all that is necessary. Calm command with the mental picture is far better than forcible willing, which only dissipates force needlessly. The above exercise is most helpful and greatly refreshes and strengthens the nervous system and reproduces a restful feeling all over the body. It is especially beneficial in cases where one is tired or feels a lack of energy. Inhibiting pain. Lying down or sitting erect, breathe rhythmically, holding the thought that you are inhaling prana. Then when you exhale, send the prana to the painful part to reestablish the circulation and nerve currents. Then inhale more prana for the purpose of driving out the painful condition. Then exhale, holding the thought that you are driving out the pain. Alternate the two above mental commands with one exhalation, stimulate the part, and with the next, drive out the pain. Keep this up for 7 breaths, then rest a while. Then try it again until relief comes, which will be before long. Many pains will be found to be relieved before the 7 breaths are finished. The hand is placed over the painful part. You may get a quicker result. Send the current of prana down the arm and into the painful part. Directing the circulation. Lying down or sitting erect, breathe rhythmically, and with the exhalations, direct the circulation to any part you wish, which may be suffering from imperfect circulation. This is effective in cases of cold feet or in cases of headache. The blood being sent downward in both cases, in the first case warming the feet, and in the latter relieving the brain from too great pressure. In the case of headache, try the pain inhibiting first, then follow with sending the blood downward. You will often feel a warm feeling in the legs as the circulation moves downward. The circulation is largely under the control of the will, and rhythmic breathing renders the task easier. General self-healing. Lying in a relaxed condition, breathe rhythmically and command that a good supply of prana be inhaled. With the exhalation, send the prana to the affected part for the purpose of stimulating it. Vary this occasionally by exhaling. with the mental command that the disease condition be forced out and disappear. Use the hands in this exercise, passing them down the body from the head to the affected part. Using the hands in healing yourself or others. Always hold, in using the hands in healing yourself or others, always hold the mental image that the prana is flowing down the arm and through the fingertips into the body, thus reaching the affected part and healing it. Of course, we can give only general directions in this book without taking up the several forms of disease in detail, but a little practice of the above exercise, varying it slightly to fit the conditions of the case, will produce wonderful results. Some yogis follow the plan of placing both hands on the affected part and then breathing rhythmically, holding the mental image that they are fairly pumping prana into the diseased organ and part, stimulating it and driving out disease conditions. As pumping into a pail of dirty water will drive out the latter and fill the bucket with fresh water. This last plan is very effective if the mental image of the pump is clearly held, the inhalation representing the lifting of the pump handle and the exhalation, the actual pumping. Recharging yourself. If you feel that your vital energy is at a low ebb and that you need to store up a new supply quickly, the best plan is to place the feet close together, side by side, of course, and to lock the fingers of both hands in any way that seems most comfortable. This closes the circuit, as it were, and prevents any escape of prana through the extremities. Then breathe rhythmically a few times, and you will feel the effect of the recharging. Brain stimulating. Yogis have found that the following exercise most useful in stimulating the action of the brain for the purpose of producing clear thinking and reasoning. It has wonderful effects in clearing the brain and nervous system, and those engaged in mental work will find it most useful to them, both in the direction of enabling them to do better work and also as a means of refreshing the mind and clearing it after arduous mental labor. Sit in an erect posture, keeping the spinal column straight and the eyes well to the front. Letting the hands rest on the upper part of the legs, breathe rhythmically. But instead of breathing through both nostrils, as in the ordinary exercises, press the left nostril closed with the thumb and inhale through the right nostril. Then remove the thumb and close the right nostril with the finger, and then exhale out through the left nostril. Then, without changing fingers, inhale through the left nostril and changing the fingers, exhale through the right. Then inhale through the right and exhale through the left, and so on, alternating nostrils as above mentioned, closing the unused nostril with the thumb or forefinger. This is one of the oldest forms of yogi breathing and is quite important and valuable and is well worthy of acquirement. And that's the perfect stop, because we will move into our breathing with alternate nostril breath that they just described. All right, so if anyone wants to unmute themselves for anything, you can, of course, and then we will move into breath work, pranayama, and meditation. I'm just going to put this out there for meditation because I don't know where everyone's practice is, but just reminders on what meditation. This is really just like a concentration practice, like learning this one pointed mind. I feel like for my own meditation practice, this time of year has been extremely challenging. So not being too hard on yourself through your meditation. And if sitting in your Buddha statue shape doesn't feel like the best way to benefit yourself, changing it up. Do child's pose. You can do legs at the wall. Getting your body really comfortable. Or if the work is really there to stay in your easy seat, then do that. Just be intentional about it instead of forcing something that's not happening. And of course, if you need a chant, I could put one in the chat if I have it. Let me see. Sometimes that helps me, or just picking one thing to focus on, whether it's a mantra or an object in your room, like if you want to look at a candle. Or so when we set the timer, it's for 20 minutes. If you need to drop early, you can set your own timer. And if you need to do longer, you can do longer. So first we'll set up in our breath work shape. So you'll either sit up nice and tall. I have my hips on a block to get my hips over my knees. Just feels better for me. You can sit on a chair with your feet flat on the floor, or at the edge of a couch, or if you need to lean against the wall for extra support. If you prefer laying down or standing, just creating that straight spine. And just giving yourself a body scan from crown of head to toes. Notice what the body feels like. Notice where you can release the tension, the face, the shoulders, fingertips, jaw. Then bringing your attention to the breath and inhaling and exhaling with the lips sealed. Inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils, as long as you're not stuffy. We'll create that rhythmic breath that Yogi Ramatraka mentioned. So we'll inhale and exhale. You can change the count up, something that suits you, but we're gonna inhale and exhale. Inhale for one number and then exhale for half the number. So inhale for 6. No, that's not right. Sorry. You're gonna inhale and exhale for the same number. And the slight pauses at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale, that's the half number. So you're gonna inhale for 6. So gently hold for 3. Exhale for 6. Nice and slow. Controlled. And then at the bottom of that, holds for 3. And then another round of inhale for 6. The top of that, holds for 3. And then gently exhale for 6. Hold for 3 at the bottom. Creating this rhythm on your own count, your own time. Inhaling for 6. Hold for 3. Exhale for 6. Hold for 3. A few more rounds just like this. Just notice where you're inhaling to. See if you can lengthen it deep into the low belly. You can stay right here with your rhythmic breath. If you want to take a few rounds of alternate nostril breath, you'll take your right hand, you'll leave your left hand resting in your lap, and you'll take your right hand to your face. You'll take your peace fingers, your pointer and your middle finger, and you'll either fold them into the palm or place them on the space between the eyebrows. No right or wrong, it's just preference. You'll take your right thumb to the right nostril and you'll use your ring finger to close the left nostril. So we'll be toggling back and forth between both nostrils. So take a breath through both nostrils and let it go. Then close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left. Close the left nostril, release the right. Exhale. Inhale right. Close the right with the thumb, release the left, exhale. Inhale left. Close the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. A few more rounds on your own breath. When you feel ready, you'll exhale out through the left side, release the palm down to the lap, and you'll sit up in your meditation shape, setting your intention. And then I will set the timer. You'll join us when you're ready, taking your time to get there.
Recording.
Bring your hands to heart center. Namaste. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Thanks for joining us, Casey.
Thank you. Have a good day.